Good afternoon and welcome back to West Ham United. I am Anton and I'm bringing to you today's transfer news, as you can see from the little cheeky thing going on, the overlay that we've just had. And you've obviously just watched Russ's daily show. So mucho gracias, Russ, for passing over the West Ham torch today. Russ has been over on My Hammers 11, so make sure you go over there and subscribe to his channel. Good chat, good banter for the day, and of course, happy belated birthday to his daughter Flo. Hope you had a good day. We've seen all the ice creams, Russ. We've seen all those ice creams, mate. But of course, today we're bringing you daily shows. We've committed to doing the daily shows, guys, and we're going to keep doing it. It's going to be a mixture of just like daily content related to West Ham or transfer news. And because the season's over, we've opted to pushing forward with some more of the transfer stories and some of the players that we're linked to. Let me just put this at the start of this video. This does not mean, by no means, that we're saying that these players will be coming in or players will be leaving. However, what we do is when we see a link, we start to dissect the player, have a look at what they can do, have a look at their history, and see if they could maybe fit into the mould of what David Moyes is looking for. So what we'll do is we'll get started with today's show. And I mean, I know there's loads of people in the chat. There's loads of comments already. So I'll make sure I come through the comments at some point. But let me actually get started on the first story of today, or the main story of today, which is Joe Worrall. Joe Worrall is a centre half, and he's a centre of, apparently in the centre of a Premier League bidding war this summer, with not just West Ham, but both and Burnley are also keen on his services. He's 24 years old, and he's enjoyed an impressive season with Nottingham Forest, despite the Championship club narrowly avoiding relegation to League One. So he signed for Nottingham Forest back in October 2011, rejecting interest from other local sides, Derby County and Leicester City. He then joined League Two side, I'm just trying to find the images for you, Dagenham and Redbridge in January 2016 on a 1-month loan deal, playing 14 times and scoring 1 goal. He rejoined Nottingham Forest and made his first team debut for them on October 2016 at Reading. In February 2017, Worrall signed a 3.5-year contract to extend his stay with Nottingham Forest until the year 2020. Then later that year, after his success with England in the Toulon tournament, a further extension until 2022. And as I've just mentioned to you there, on May 2017, he was called up to the England representative squad of the 2017 Toulon tournament as a replacement for Charlton Athletics' Konsa, who had been promoted at that time to the under-20 squad for the FIFA under-20 World Cup. He was then, Joe Worrall was then appointed team captain for England. He played 4 times, and yes, he lifted the trophy as England defender, and they won the title after a 1-1 draw on Ivory Coast in the final. They won the title, beating them in penalties. He was also named the second best player of the tournament after his teammate David Brooks, who won the award. So, you know, it comes with a little bit of young youth international experience. What then happened, though, was under his current manager, Karanka, he went back to Nottingham Forest and he joined Scottish Premiership club Rangers on loan until the end of the 2018-19 season. He didn't want to go out at loan. He was really kind of disappointed at it. However, Karanka said and insisted that he needed more experience. So while he was at Rangers, he played 32 games in all competitions, including 4 appearances in the Europa League. So following his loan spell at Rangers, Worrall then came back to Nottingham Forest and found himself in the first team under new manager Lamucci, with the defender starting every single league game in the 2019 and 20 season. He then signed his 4-year contract extension in February 2020, taking his contract to 2024. So what type of player is Worrall? Let's take a little cheeky look and see what we think we could be looking at and what we could be getting. So Worrall is a right-footed left centre-back. He's the main player when building from the back, and his main duty is to serve the ball to the players in an advanced position, especially the fullbacks. He's both-footed. He can kick the ball really well with his right foot, and he can kick the ball really well with his left foot. He can use his positioning and anticipation to make a perfectly timed tackle, and he can use both his, like I said, both his right foot and left foot to do that and do it accurately, and even he does it well under a lot of pressure. One of Worrall's strengths, though, is his ability to read the game. He sometimes sits deeper, allowing valuable cover to the Forest defence. Now, we, in my opinion, have missed that type of player. I think Dawson's been the closest player we've had in recent years prior to Winston Reid, who sat back deeper than other defenders, because we always had defenders that would step out. Ginge as well. Ginge was always capable of doing it. Very good readers of the game, in my opinion. And you had Ogbonna, you've got the likes of Ogbonna, and you've got the likes of Diop, who will step out. And you always need that kind of security line behind you, the sweeper role, to sweep up any of the damage that's got through. And this is the potentially player, and this is maybe where you can start to see the fit in and why Moyes is looking at him. He's got a great defensive instinct to make a fast move to eliminate the dangerous situation. He will drop in advance of an attack to protect the space behind, like I've just mentioned. And this contributes a lot to the team since Nottingham Forest used a high press. Now, you may say to me, they've just avoided relegation to League One, but that doesn't mean that players, individual players, and the work rate and what they've given to that side goes amiss. It doesn't. He looks like a really decent centre half. Like I said, 24 fits the mould of what David Moyes is looking for. In general, though, sometimes Worrall doesn't mark his match up tight enough in the box when it comes to defending the space in front of him. So due to his conservative defending approach, he'll try to drop and keep a distance between himself and his matchup. And he does this for protecting the space behind. He's not one of those aggressive defenders. He's got a conservative approach, like I've mentioned. He avoids mistakes and he gives a very stable performance in defending. What's more is he's got great passing and he helps the team in progressing the ball in the attack, moving further up the field. So in 31 championship outings this season, he's averaged 0.7 tackles, 1.1 interceptions, 4.2 clearances, and 0.9 blocks. I know it's all the points. I know that. If we have to go to it, you're averaging 1 tackle, 1 interception, 4 clearances, and 1 block per game. He's also won an average 2 aerial duels per match during his appearances. He's 6'4". He is a big lad. He's mobile and he can get around. He's a man mountain of a centre back. He's big, strong, and very, very, very dominant in the air. Would he make an excellent addition? His contract is out at Nottingham Forest in 2024, so he won't come cheap. But Forest maybe are open to clubs making an offer for him, and apparently the rumour is 10 million they would accept for the likes of Joe Worrall. What do you think? Get your comments in and let me know. Where would he fit in next season? Well, West Ham's European qualification is confirmed. West Ham are expected to be playing upwards of 50 plus competitive games next season. And with the impending departure of Balbuena, that leaves a big gap to be filled. We also know that Moyes likes defensive cover and he's keen to add to his centre-half team of players. With the ageing Ogbonna and Dawson, and some can say the jury is still out on Diop, could Worrall be the perfect signing? Could Moyes have unearthed another fantastic young talent for a very low fee? It's an interesting one, it really is. I like the looks. Again, I don't portray to say I know every single player that West Ham are linked to. However, you know, when it's players, you know, you take an interest in specific teams. When I spoke to you about Alex Kroll, because West Ham have signed players from Slavia Prague, you take a little bit of an interest in them. And of course, the Championship, you always have a bit of interest in the Championship if you're a footballing fan, especially if you have access to watching it online. And you always know what David Moyes, David Moyes was looking at Tarkowski from Burnley early in the season. The fee was just absolutely crazy. And to be honest, I'm quite glad we didn't get him. And we've done really well with the signing of Dawson. However, what we do know is, and I think Moyes has stated it several times, he wants to work on the defensive area of West Ham. West Ham are still conceding goals and conceding quite a lot of goals, even though we've had a fantastic season. And if we absolutely start to nullify that threat and work on reducing those goals that are coming in, that are being scored against us, it gives us more chance of getting more points. And don't always have to rely on outscoring the opposition every single game, because 1 goal could be enough rather than scoring 3. I know goals gives you a lot more joy. However, 1 victory away from the Champions League, and you think if you just maybe start to reduce those goals, Arsenal, Wolves, games, Newcastle, where we've conceded goals after goals. He's young, 24. He's a big lad, but what I really like about it is if you put him in beside Ogbonna, he's going to be the one that clears any of the balls that come through. He sits back. I've said the word several times, he's a conservative defender, but he doesn't mind getting stuck in, but he reads the game really well. And in my opinion, genuinely, I mean this, I don't think we've had a player like that since Winston Reid has been injured and has gone away, of course, as well. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. Let me jump into the comments and see what everyone else is saying regarding Joe Worrall. Let's see what Jake's saying. From one great show to another, I'm sure. Let me see. I can't see that there. Afternoon, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. We're on subscriber road to 7K. We certainly are. Toby, thank you for joining us in sunny Southend. It is absolutely roasting up here. I've actually got my sunglasses at the ready. These are anti-glare glasses, which I can't use because, like, you see the screen and everything. It's a bit annoying. So yeah, it's roasting up here. Absolutely roasting. Do you like the music? I hope you do. Jakey boy, Peach is in the house. Vegeta, DZ, hope you're well. Aiden, let's go. Hello, everyone. Something like 10:15 p.m. in South Australia. Thank you very much for joining us. Ross Cordell, afternoon, West Ham United. Hope you're well, Ross. Ross got your top, and I seen your image, mate, and it's really cool. So Ross won the competition with us to win the black third strip from thanks to our partners at Umbro, whom I would like to announce again have partnered up with us again for next season as well. This music is a bit 70s, must be stealth. No, he's a bit 50s GP, so it's definitely not him, mate. Jack Boy Hunter, afternoon, fellas. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining us, mate. Yep, sunny. I think the whole country's sunny today. Caden, afternoon all. Thank you for joining us. Marcus, hello. Hope you're well. Wally, hello. Gary Rutter, I'm good today, thank you, Gary. It's really warm. I've actually been working a lot outside today, and I've got a few more meetings to go back into, but at least I can be outside and sit in the sun. That's what makes a big difference. Nathan F, hello, thank you for joining us. Let's see what everyone else is saying. James, you're in the house. Richard, you're in the house as well. Hope you're well, thank you. West Ham on tour, hello Anton, hope you and everyone is having a lovely weekend. We are. Love it. You're just all being so generous and nice and saying hi to each other. It's great. D. Lee, Messi or Ronaldo to West Ham? Good question. Always ask loads of people that. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to say Ronaldo. I mean, I love them both to bits. Great footballers, but I'm just going to say Ronaldo because I just love his style. Gaza, I'm brand new. I hope you're well, my G. Mick Anderton, afternoon, gents. Any news regarding Moyes' contract? I thought we would have heard by now. I think you'll hear this week, if I'm being brutally honest. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if anyone's actually talking about Joe Worrall or not. Let me see. Oh, my word. All just saying all that. No shirt announcements and no news on Moyes. Let's hope we hear soon. Mick, we tend to get late shirt news. It's a very rare amount of times that I've seen West Ham, in recent years anyway, announce an early new shirt release. So I think just be mindful. It'll probably be happening soon. Let's see here. Dennis, who's worried about Moyes' lack of contract? Not me, because I think he'll sign it. So don't worry about that. Did he just explain what? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. My bad. But sometimes you just have to just do that. What's the transfer fee rumoured to be? £10 million is the rumour. I think that's a good deal. Genuinely think that is a good deal for the likes of a championship player coming up. Okay, nearly got relegated. However, he's a strong centre-half, man-mountain of a guy. So we'll see. No one was deeper than Steve Potts or John Terry with Bridges. I can't believe I read that out. Well, Winston Reid is your favourite player. Well, joking aside, Winston Reid was one of our best players in the last decade. There's no ifs and buts about it. Anthony Jones, Worrall sounds a typical Moyes choice of young and potential and cheaper than some suggestions we hear about in the press. Absolutely, mate. And I think he could have may unearth another gem that he needs to do as well. Gary Rutter, Moyes understands what this club needs. He absolutely does, mate. Probably was, I think you're talking about the watch situation. Reece, not as much of a mountain as you, Antonio. Yeah, but there's a difference in mountain. I need to lose a little bit of timber, and Joe Worrall doesn't. So there's a difference between the mountains, you know. You just got to be kind of careful with that one. But Gary Rutter, don't worry, he ain't going anywhere else. Steve Helson, Irvin leaves and Lingard's watch goes. Don't say that. Tyson Fury is a 6'8". Let's get him. Oh, could you imagine him? Could you imagine how awkward he'd be? If 10 million is the value and Moyes wants him, that'll do me. Absolutely. It doesn't eat in too much to the budget, but it brings us in a youth, a young quality player. Signed Big Bird from Sesame Street. He's tall. He is. He is humongous. I'm having to skip so many comments because he's just all talking to each other, which is not a bad thing. Dennis, Gary, I feel the same, but until a contract is announced, the door remains open. Well, it must be hot in Scotland. They've let Anton have a cupboard door open. Yeah, well, the kids aren't here just now, so I can do that. Alex Crawl's just been premiered YouTube on the last day or so. Suggest you all check it out. Really good. Yes, it is. Going to talk a little bit about him in a second. Can he play in a back three? Yes, he can play anywhere in the back, to be honest, because of his two-footed ability. Oh my God, you're so funny. Anton is in the sweat box. I am, mate. How hot is you in the cage? I mean, cupboard. Well, listen, over the next week, I'll be moving premises, not households, but somewhere else in the house. So I should have a bit more fresh air and daylight coming in as well. He would be stupid to not give Moyes a contract, but it will happen, mate. I wouldn't worry about that. Not having that about Stell, his 19,000 meters. Absolutely, mate. Don't know Joe Worrall, so can't comment. Sorry. Well, hopefully, I'm giving you a little bit of insight into maybe what he's looking at and why he would fit into the team. OW, not heard anything about this Joe fella till now. Yep. Thank you for joining us. Going to be the perfect sunlight for some classic trains to take some photos soon. Skizzle Base, afternoon, Anton. Howdy, Hammers. Haven't seen you for a while, Skizzle. Hope you are well. Has our budget actually been announced? No, and they won't announce it, Nathan. They won't, because it can chop and change depending on players that leave the club or come out. And again, it'll be interesting to see. Hello, Anton. I sent you a mail yesterday, by the way, on Holzik. Yes, Vaclav, because if you stay tuned, mate, stay tuned in the next couple of minutes. Actually, do you know what? While you're there, let me just talk about it. So Vaclav is a regular watcher, of course, of West Ham and United, and he sent us this picture yesterday, which was great. So he was at the Slavia Prague game and went to the shop, and outside the stadium you can actually see he's holding his West Ham Irons United mug alongside his Slavia Prague mug. And he gave us just an update on some of the players that West Ham are interested in and pointed me in the direction of this image here, which you can see, which is Soufal Soucek with their best pal, Alex Crawl at the game. Of course, Soufal and Soucek trained with Slavia Prague this week, and the really big rumour is that Crawl will sign potentially with West Ham prior to the Euros starting, which will be a great backup, potentially backup or pushing for a starting place in the central of our midfield, which is a great shout. So Vaclav, thank you very much for sending it to us, mate, and thank you very much for all of your support since you've joined the team at West Ham United as well. It's much appreciated. It's a very international group of people we've got who come on here and chat with us, and we do appreciate all the support that you guys give us as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, Vaclav. Good morning, Anton. I'm well, thank you very much, Dylan. OW, until Moyes makes a bad signing, we have no right to critique and nitpick his decisions. Absolutely, mate. But even if he does make a bad signing here, there and everywhere, that's allowed. That's what happens. Everyone does it. Jimmy Cooney, cheers, Anton. If he's like Reedy, who has to be a West Ham legend, if only for the goal scored at the Sacred Boleyn, not to mention his defensive prowess between 2012 till his injury, promising. Absolutely, absolutely. Joe Worrall equals Duncan Ferguson. He's not as big as him, and he's in a different position, so it's your way of looking at it, Peach. Why not? Richard McKello, come on, you Irons, thank you very much. Anyone in Southend got a strummer, do you mean, Toby? I don't know what these are all talking about there. Reese, yes, Vaclav, hope you enjoyed that again. Yeah, great photo, Vaclav. Here he is here. So he said, hello, Anton. I sent you a mail yesterday with a few photos from Prague. By the way, Adam Holsick, Sparta Prague, scored 4 goals in the first half of the match this season. Yes, and I think tonight you will be actually, if you tune in to Stell's West Ham Weekly tonight, you'll see he's doing a season highlight show. There's going to be so many guests coming on, people that are familiar and you are in the chat just now. You may see myself, you may see some other people you recognise, you may see some ex-professional West Ham players popping on the show tonight. So make sure you tune in. It's going to be a big one tonight. I think Stell's going to be on for a long time. However, he is it's going to be a long one, so you definitely want to to tune into the West Ham Weekly tonight. Full. No thank you to Worrall as a first-team player. As a future replacement for Ogbonna, he's an option. He's still very raw. 10 million, that's just an English player tax, not worth it. Jake Cooper from Millwall. It's funny you say that, Full. I couldn't disagree with you more. He's a completely different player to Ogbonna, so he's not even going to be a replacement for him. He's more of a replacement for the player we never, ever replaced when, unfortunately, we got rid of when Winston Reid got injured, to be honest. And I think that was the lack of our... that's when things started to take a turn for the worse, when we started to concede more goals and more goals and more goals. And of course, we all know Ogbonna's, maturing in his style of play. The older he's got, but the thing is, he is getting going on as well. But the thing is, we need that quality player who can sit back and conservatively defend. Dawson does it to a certain extent, but we've not really had it since Reid and Ginge have left the club, and we really, really lack that, to be honest. West Ham unofficial 7:30 p.m. Good watch, Jake and Peach, team of the season. Tings, check it out. Absolutely. There's only one Vatclav. Let me have a look. God, there's so many comments. I see Ogbonna got left out of the Italy squad, and it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, Gary. It really doesn't surprise me, because I think, the English clubs always have a history. Any Italian players that play in England have always had a history of never really been included in the squad. And I'd actually like to know the last Italian player who plays in England that has been included in the squad, and they tend to always go with the players that play in their league as well. Freshfielder, did he sign a contract extension with Sparta contract yesterday? I didn't see that, did he? I'll check that out. Left side defender, who's that in our team, Anton? Ogbonna, mate. He plays with both feet, Full. He's right and left footed. And yeah, that's it. He does, Gary, absolutely. It's like a fine wine, absolutely. Did Zola get into the Italian squad during that era when he was playing at Chelsea? Did he? I'm not sure. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. Will still show be longer than the Irishman felt it. Yes, it will, mate. You need to tune in. Gary Rutter, you're right, Anton. I know I am, mate. I know I am. Don't worry. Perhaps he'll sell his caravan to Anton. He will, mate. Euro 96. Well, do you know what, Fo? Hold on a second, mate. You're making me do this live on air, so I'm going to do it here. I'm not too sure. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but you're saying Zola, Gianfranco Zola. Here we go. Let's go and have a little look and see. So he played with Chelsea 1996 to 2003. Right, so he signed. I don't know if you could count that. Full. I don't know if you can count that, to be honest. He was in that okay, he played until 1997, so he was with Chelsea. But is that the last one? I mean, there's not many players. You can name a shed load of Italian players that have played in the English Premier League that have not been included. So, you can name a couple, of course, but the Canio, there you go, there's another one. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Anyway, sorry, I just had to check that out because it was annoying me. No, there's no update on Lingard yet. He is training with England, and everyone's talking about how he took the famous West Ham bag into the training ground with himself. So, and of course you've probably seen that little sketch that he did with Tom, what's his name, the comedian guy, Big Tom D, is that his name? And he'd done a comedy sketch with Harry Redknapp and Jamie Redknapp, and Tom Brilliant done a scene from a movie, Love Actually, and he was just telling how much he loved Jesse Lingard and how he's going to tear it up with West Ham next season. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see what actually happens. Tom Davis, that's the one. I couldn't get the name. Didn't Zola score a goal at Wembley for Italy when at Chelsea? Yeah, I didn't say that it doesn't happen. I just said that it very rarely happens. And I mean, if the fact it's taken us to go back 20 odd years to try and find the player that's been chosen for the Italian squad proves that point exactly. So anyway, what do you think on Joe Worrall? Young, strong, man mountain, 24 years old, can play with both feet, centre half. Moyes is interested in a centre half. We know that. He's going to be looking on the market for a centre half. Don't believe what you hear absolutely everywhere. Moyes has stated from day dot he wants a centre half, and he's not went and got his guy. He's looking around the market for it. So definitely keep an eye out, because we probably will be looking at signing someone in the back three. Don't forget, Moyes likes 3 at the back in some matches, but can't if players are injured or suspended. Probably play 2 or 3 centre defenders on the opposition we play. And of course, remember, we're playing 50 plus games, competitive games next season. And I don't doubt for a second we've got a couple of younger players as well who can make the step up in Alessi and Baptiste. I genuinely think next year's their year. I really do. I'm not saying they'll play 30 plus games, but I think that we're going to see a little bit more of them in the first team. And that gives, you know, if you don't include Moyes and you don't include West Ham signing, potentially signing Joe Worrall or another centre-half, you've got 3 first-team centre-halves there with 2 young backups. So next year's their opportunity to make the step up, whether it's League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, etc. It's going to be good. But Joe Worrall, he comes with Europa League experience as well. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. £10 million. Let's see what happens with it. Anyway, that brings it into our transfer news show. Make sure you join still tonight. I think it's going on between 8 and 8:30 tonight. And it'll be an interesting one. There'll be loads of guests, like I said. They'll be on for I don't know how many hours, but make sure you go and check it out. And we'll be back tomorrow with a daily or a transfer news show. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment once the video's gone. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. Come on, you Irons.